That's interesting. But let's say I'm going to a new city. I am next weekend. I'm going off to LA. And I go to a club, and obviously in LA I don't have this big group of female friends. If I wanted to try and get something similar done, just the weekend I'm there, try and use some of the advantages of social proof that you've been talking about. Is that possible? Is that doable?
Easy. You can do it. I mean, you can do it straight from cold, which would be standard cold social proof. Walk into a bar, probably go in with a group you've met in the doorway. Use that as your base set.
So start talking to people right
First set, make friends only.
And is that just girls, or?
I would make sure it's a group of girls, ideally.
Okay.
Yeah, mixed set if you have to, but a group of girls is much better. Use them as your base set. If you're in a foreign country, it's even easier because you're new to the area. You need to meet new people. And then from there, I'd vibe with the staff next. Tell the staff you're new to the area. Tell them that maybe you're thinking about getting a table the next day. Any prospect of money is going to make them that much friendlier to you.
Yeah.
Talking to the staff, using them. Now you can vibe between the base set and the staff. The base set are going to see that you're a social person straight away because you're talking to the staff members. So your social proof is magnifying between the two of them already. Then bounce around the club, meet other people. Again, because you've never been there before, you have so much to talk to about where's good to go. Have I chosen a good venue here? Is there somewhere better? I went on holiday about 6 months ago, went to Bournemouth, never been there before. Met a girl in a car, asked her if she knew a good place.
Was she retired? Sorry, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
The Americans out there, Bournemouth is kind of retired, a bit like Miami, although...
Thankfully she's one of the hot ones. And she invited me out clubbing with her and her friends that night. I went out, the group was quite boring, they weren't that much fun. So from them I bounced to another group of incredibly hot party girls and told them that I come out clubbing with a group of people I've met, but they weren't very cool. Are you guys any cooler? They said, well, we're going to show you the best night of your life. And I went out with 16 incredibly hot party girls for the rest of my night.
So I guess what a lot of guys at home will be wondering now is, what do you say to these girls, or do you not think that's that important? How do you, let's say you do go at the same time as a group of girls, how do you befriend them without hitting on them, or do you hit on them, or?
No, I think the key thing is to start with, it's just comfort, you're just adding value, you're being friendly, you're being fun.
What do you mean by adding value?
When you're adding value, you're not looking to leech off them. So you're not being boring, you're not being a drag, you're not ruining what their plans are, what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're adding interest to what they're doing. So it might be through asking them questions about themselves that they like talking about. So we're not saying, what did you do today? Where are your family from? None of those kind of boring questions.
Yeah.
More things like, so what interesting things have you done recently? Or where's cool to go out? To let them use their experience and their advice. Because people love talking about themselves. As a form of adding value. You could use games and magic and stuff like that, which I know a lot of community kind of people do. But I find these big, deep qualification type interesting questions are much better because people want to talk about themselves, they want to talk about their passions, they want to talk about where they're going on holiday next year and how much they're looking forward to it. That's what people like talking about. And so by doing that, they want to get involved in the conversation.
Okay.
Of course, this is going straight down LJBF territory. This is going to end up with you getting LJBF. You're just building a nice friendly atmosphere where they don't feel threatened by you. From then on, that's when you're going to start building the attraction.
So is there any way that you can go from this kind of let's just be friends frame?
Yes, straight up.
Hit us up.
Okay.
Tell us the secret.
If you're vibing with other groups, then you should be able to pick up pre-selection. So by using that base set...
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
So by going out and opening other groups in the area, introducing them to your base set, you're building up pre-selection. You're having other girls that are being interested in you, even if only as friends. And again, you're getting that social proof track building where a lot of different girls are vying for your attention, especially if you're leaving the sets on a high. So if they're having fun with you, they're like, wow, you're so much fun. You're like, okay, but I've got to go, I'll be back. Like, where are you going? So you're capturing that moment of fun energy where you're a fun guy.
Okay.
That will help build up pre-selection, which is one really good way of doing it.
It's an attractive quality.
Yeah, exactly, something that will make them want to be with you and start fighting with you.
Yeah.
Getting you into that bit where you can be passive and sit back. Recently I've been experimenting with my new sort of framework behind the game, which is the idea that what I'll do is once I've got to a point where I've got a lot of comfort with somebody, I'll break it. And I will then deliberately do something to ruin the comfort between the two of us.
How do you throw your drink over them, or?
Ironically, you probably could.
Don't do that at home.
Not suggesting everyone goes and does this. However, what you're looking for is any kind of situation where you're going to remove the really fun vibe, friendly feeling they had before. It can be by suddenly becoming sexual.
Okay.
It can be by just disagreeing with them, saying no. It can be by cutting them off as they speak. Just something to really ruin that fun vibe that you had previously.
Okay.
What will happen is once you break that, it creates a gap, if you will. where the comfort that was there, the fun vibe that was there is now gone. And now, if you've done it correctly and they really enjoyed the moment before, they will seek to rebuild that.
So how do you know when the right moment to start doing that is?
It's one of those things, you get a feel for it the more you do it. However, essentially, if somebody's giving you a lot of IOIs, you know you're there.
Okay.
If you're receiving a lot of indicators of interest or signs of attraction, where somebody is touching you, they're keynoting you, they're smiling at you, they're genuinely enjoying being with you, to a point where you can see you've got comfort and you think things are going well. And this is typically the point where it will start becoming LJBF, where if you don't do something about it, it's going to be, oh, you're a really nice guy, I think you're really cute.
But let's not fuck.
But let's not have sex. This breaking rapport will normally, one of my favourite ones, one I really, really like is, you know what, it's amazing, we've had so much fun here today. And I didn't think I would, because most of the time, in fairness, despite the fact we've had a great conversation, I've been staring at your ass. Straight away, because you can't say that to me, she might even keynote you, as an instant response to it. Straight away, you've changed in her opinion.
And how do you react to that?
Well, at that point, that's when you start building attraction. So from that point on, if she started keynoting you, I'd grab her, hug her, push her away again, and I'll start building either demonstrations of high value or qualification. So then I'll start getting really hard. So, yeah, it's like, you do.
So you're basically taking a kind of reverse approach to what, say, Bad Boy or what Mr. Method do, where you're trying to build that rapport, that connection first.
And then I'm going to smash it. So I'm going to remove that afterwards.
But the way that you're not getting kind of blown out by trying to build comfort is you're adding value.
Yeah, I'm adding value to such people. They want to be around me because I'm fun. Can
you give us any specific examples of how you might add value to a set? I mean, you said already that you'll show that you're a sociable guy, working with lots of different people. Can you think of anything else that you...
Yeah, I mean, let's just say, for example, let's say a cold approach on the street and you see somebody who's reading a map. Opening them by trying to help them find somewhere on the map, you're adding value to them. You're not being fun or interesting, but then you're going to add value. They need help looking to where they're going, you have the knowledge, you're going to add value. Straight away, you're getting a bit of comfort. There's a reason for the two of you to speak to each other. Adding value by, you can wind somebody up. If they're maybe in a restaurant, sitting next to somebody, and they're eating some food, you're like, you know what, I was going to get that, but it looked a bit messy on the plate. What do you mean? Well, it just doesn't look very appetizing, does it? Are you enjoying it? So you're talking about the food, it's just a generic bit of conversation.
So you're kind of vibing with them.
Yeah, to the point where you're that much more interesting than whatever they were doing previously.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people will struggle perhaps if you've got two girls having a really intense conversation. When you go in, if you're not going to significantly be more interesting than what they're talking about, you're going to get blown out.
Yeah.
When someone, like one of the well-known guys, let's say Vintage Kelvin or Mystery, when they approach, because they look so peacocked, they are interesting. In fact, they're opening by opening, they're being intriguing, they're being interesting, they're going to add value, even if it's just initially humour value or entertainment value based on the fact they look good or look different. The girls will then, that's the value in there. Right. So there's a whole bunch of different ways of doing it. Once you've got that and you've got that confident situation going where you're in with each other, then you smash it. Break rapport, you start getting them to qualify themselves to you. All they're attempting to do is fix the comfort they had before.
So basically you're getting their investment in terms of time and building out rapport and then starting to pull away.
Yeah, exactly. This stuff's all being done with music. Like I said, the mystery method techniques, the RSD techniques, they all essentially use this similar kind of method. It's just a lot of them will cut in a bit later on. They won't necessarily bother with the comfort stage. Like I said, because they're peacocks, they'll just bypass that and just assume it'll work. Whereas with this way, you can get away with being a really normal guy, not dressing up very well, but as long as you understand that when
Adam dresses fairly badly.
Terribly, yeah, that's true. You can come straight in with comfort, something that's going to add value, break the rapport, and get to a point where they're starting to chase you, let them keep chasing you. The more they chase you, make sure that if they're chasing you, it's going to go sexual. Now they've got a problem. They're either going to accept that, continue chasing you in a sexual way.
In which case they've sort of accepted it, a sexual frame at that point.
At that point, and it's going to go turn to sex. Or they're going to cut off and walk away from the whole situation.
Yeah.
And of course, once they've made a commitment to start investing in you, they're now putting effort and energy into getting you. The more they put that in, the less likely they are to walk.
Okay, that makes sense.